to explore, learn, and improve. In today's Sensei episode, we will feature a young sensei who will share his service to the church as a Latin Mass server and his work as the founder of Casa de Ignazio, Ecclesiastical Vestments. Stay with us to learn the story and journey of Mr. Chad Nathan Belleza. Here in Sensei, their skills and talents.
I am Chad Nathan Belleza. I am currently a student in Guagua National Colleges Incorporated under the Montessori program. I took Humanities and Social Sciences, or HUMS, for I believe that it will help me, especially that I am serving in the church, to know more about the peoples, how to understand them, and also to serve the church in a way that can also benefit me and many people. And as many people know, they often call me as Nathan or even brother, or because I often introduce myself as Nathan and not with my first name as Chad. And it's been a few months since I started studying for Kulitan, or the traditional indigenous script of Pampanga, like Baybayin, but for the Kapampangans. That's what I do sometimes. And of course, as many people know, I sew vestments in Casa de Ignazio, traditional ecclesiastical vesture.
You mentioned that you're serving the church and parang ma-inspire ka from that service to take your program. Ano ba yung organization na kasama ka sa simbahan ngayon?
I'm currently a server of the Latin Mass Society of Saint Ferdinand in San Fernando, whereas our chaplain is Reverend Monsignor Eugenio G. Reyes, JCD, PA. Before that, I was serving here in San Roque Parish, first as an altar server, and later on also as a member of the San Roque Parish Youth Choir. Whereas then I was in that center, then now I am currently in the base.
When did you start serving the church, or sino yung nag-influensya sa'yo na mag-serve sa simbahan?
I started serving the church, I don't know kung kailan yung specific date, but it was September, and our vicariate hosted the coronation of Virgen de los Remedios. The fact that the Virgen de los Remedios is the patroness of Pampanga. I think that the Virgen de los Remedios is the one that actually pulled me towards serving the church. Subukan ko kayang mag-serve sa simbahan, and because back then I'm only thinking of just merely joining the coronation, but later on it drove me to also serving as an altar server, and then later as a member of the choir. Actually, the then parish priest, Reverend Father Ramon Macasiog, was actually inviting me to be an altar server. He's always saying, because back then, before the pandemic, when the priest processed to the altar, started when I was young, and now, nagmamano ako sa pare. Then, since Father Mon always sees me nagmamano, he sometimes asks me, ba't hindi mag-serve ka, mag-altar server ka, mag-nights ka? And yeah, that's how I started serving the church.
Ano naman yung nagpa-stay sa'yo para mas tuloy-tuloy na mag-serve sa simbahan?
Actually, back then, there will always be this temptation na, paano kaya? Ba't di ka na lang umalis sa simbahan? Kapag nagyan ka sa simbahan, yung parang malakas kang ma-issue, yung sasabihin nilang, nagsaserve ka pa naman sa simbahan, ganyan yung galing mo. But what keeps me serving the church is not about the people, it's not about those chismes, it's not about those who are trying to make me leave the church and do bad things, but it's actually the ones holding me, keeping me in serving the church is our Lord Jesus Christ present in the Blessed Sacrament, and because I serve the church, not because of other people, but because of Christ, through His mother, the Virgen de los Remedios. And that's how I am still serving the church up to this day.
As a youth, Do you think serving the church is important?
Yes, I think that serving the church is important because first point is that it drives them out of the vicious or those bad influences from their peers, because currently if we can see that the youth is influenced to bad addictions, to bad influences, mostly because of their peers and because of how society is making them do such things. And I see that through serving the church, it will drive them out of this. And as a second point, it will drive them closer to God, making them good persons, not just for now, but as persons who will build our future. For the youth, they will be the building blocks of our future, and therefore I can say that serving the church will drive them to be good people and drive them away from bad addictions, from bad habits, from temptations of the devil, and all of that.
Earlier, you mentioned that you are serving the Latin Mass, San Ferdinand. Can you tell us what is Latin Mass Society?
We have to go to what is the Latin Mass. The Latin Mass, or also known as the extraordinary form of the Roman Rite, the Mass that still celebrates the Missal of 1962. Latin Mass Society was the idea that was created after the motu proprio of Pope Benedict XVI, Summorum Pontificum. Now, Latin Mass Society is a group where people strive for holiness, that they can see that holiness in the extraordinary form, in the old rite, in how our saints were celebrating the Mass, or Masses back then was celebrated ad orientem, or facing the east, facing the altar, or some people might even call it as nakatalikod sa mga tao. Returning to the idea of Latin Mass, to where I am serving, the Latin Mass drives faithful to be more holy or be more reverent, not just because they are only going to the extraordinary form, but also in the ordinary form or the Novus Ordo, where what that is also known as the typical Mass that we know, where they but most people are actually influenced by the Latin Mass to be more reverent.
Do you want to watch more Limang Siglo and Sensei videos? Visit our social media accounts and don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. You're still watching Sensei Season 3, Their Skills and Talents.
How was your experience as a server sa Latin Mass Society of Saint Ferdinand?
As a server of Latin Mass Society of Saint Ferdinand, my experience is that it was actually more reverent, and because it's a practice in the Latin Mass Society of Saint Ferdinand to pray before the Mass, whereas unfortunately I cannot observe in other parishes. What we do, we often pray the Rosary either in English or Latin, or sometimes even Kapampangan, and also the 7 decades chaplet, the chaplet of Our Lady of Sorrows, or the Servite Rosary. In my experience as a server, I see that discipline is being observed and being taught, and it will drive the servers who, even when there are no masses in the Latin Mass, when they are going to the ordinary form or the Novus Ordo, it is driving them to be more reverent, to be responsible, and to be good members of the church. Therefore, I can say that as a server, it will drive you to holiness because of the sacrifices you do. It drives you to the reason why you are serving, which is the one and only our Lord Jesus Christ, which is present in the most blessed sacrament in the altar, to whom we are serving, and the one who is being offered at every Mass is offered
from all the experiences that you shared and all the things that you know about the church, nakikita mo ba yung sarili mo in the future to enter the seminary or dreaming to deepen your faith and service?
Actually, I was discerning to enter the priesthood. But now, currently, I am discerning it more if priesthood is really for me. If I think that if I am not going to enter the priesthood, I will be a Catholic educator or someone who teaches the youth of the importance of Christ. And I would try to be an example so that the youth of today will be influenced to not only serve the church, but even though they are not serving the church, they will be driven to practice holy lives, to observe the sacraments, to regularly go to Mass, and the like. So if God do wills it, I hope that I will be a priest. But if it's not really for me, being a Catholic educator or whatever His will may be, it be done.
What are the things that you were able to discover through serving the church na kaya mo palang gawin?
I actually learned through serving the church how to play the organ. Because when I was serving as a member of the San Roque Parish Youth Choir, our choir master, Sir Jonathan Bulaon, was usually playing the organ, the piano. And I was saying, it's more simpler to play the piano than other instruments, so why don't I try playing? So sometimes before practice, I'm fiddling with the piano and trying to learn basic hymns like Immaculate Mother, Salve Regina, among others. So currently, through that, I can say that through serving the church, it unlocks my skills within me, and also through serving the church, I know that I learned how to properly sing then. And currently kasi then I'm also assisting my teacher in school, Teacher Mikey Pagyo, to teach the Divine Majesty Chorale or DMC, because so it's sometimes being said that parang ako yung nagiging teacher, pero it's okay for her because it is as if I am needed so that these students can properly sing when we are celebrating the novena, and sometimes even the Mass, and so that it's not that I'm only teaching them to sing, but I'm also teaching them to be good people, to be good persons, and to always go to Mass. That's what I'm encouraging them to do. And therefore, I can say that in serving the church, it will unlock your skills in many things. And because all of these things came from and will all point to God, which is the one who created us and the one whom we will return in the end of our lives.
Do you want to watch more Limang Siglo and Sensei videos? Visit our social media accounts and don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. You're still watching Sensei Season 3, Their Skills and Talents.
Aside from learning the piano and singing for the Lord, is there any other skills that you are doing right now or parang getting enhanced, parang ina-upgrade?
I didn't only learn from the church, but actually through the church, I am currently attending the Aguman Sinupan Sing Sing, which is actually though secular, have many members who are altar servers. Whereas I learned it through Sachel Macasias Amamangpang, who was a former organist in Antipolo and currently is staying in Santa Rita. Because of his Kapampangan, because he often used the sulat bakulod, and he writes those things on the top of it, which are the diacritical marks. I can say, And it happens to be one of his friends back then was Mike Pangilinan, who is also known by his Kapampangan name as Siwala Ding Mayangobye. Well, I tried because in last October, it became regular. Their operations became regular in operating in the Aguman Sinu Pansingsing. And believe it or not, I biked more than 20 kilometers just to go there. And therefore, I left at around 7 and I arrived at before 9. It's almost a 2-hour ride. And our first topic then was what biya sa mga Pampangan ding anak, or why are modern Kapampangans, or why are the youth are not knowledgeable in speaking Kapampangan. And the next session that I learned there was actually basic Kulitan lessons. So now I can write in Kulitan. Kulitan, for those who do not know, Kulitan is like baybayin, but it's not baybayin in a sense, because Kulitan is written from top to bottom, right to left, like how the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So it's similar to Japanese and Chinese styles of writing, I can say. So other than playing the piano and singing, I also learned more in my Kapampangan culture and also in writing Kulitan.
Speaking or dun sa pananahig
Mm.
ng mga damit pampare, mga kagamitan sa pampare. Paano mo naman naumpisahan yun? Saan naman nanggaling yung interest mo from learning it?
Actually, there was this one guy from Regalia. I think I forgot his name, but it was a YouTube video of how to make damit ng santo, how you can make Santo Vestment. Then I tried to make one vestment for my Santo Niño, which was of course hand-sewn because I don't have a sewing machine back then. Then after that, I went to making beredas, which are the hats worn by priests, which are most common in the traditional rite, but can also be worn by priests in the ordinary form or ordinary form of the Mass. Whereas bishops were in their choir dress are often seen wearing their beredas in amaranth or purple. Now, then I stopped making beredas and I moved to a different project, which is making vestments for priests, like chasubles, stoles, maniples, child's veils, burses, dalmatics, tunicles, humeral veils, copes, amices, among others. I also want to show how these vestments are really made so that priests can appreciate how it was actually made, because I usually follow patterns that are as many centuries old. I follow how they are actually made, because some modern vestments are just made out of convenience. They use synthetic fabrics for their linings, which actually make those vestments hot and doesn't want to catch on when the priest is wearing those vestments. Therefore, I said to myself, as I said, I will make this vestment so that I can show my talent, and also I can show how these vestments look back then, and it is as if a revival of these vestments in the modern age, and it shows how you can see their beauty in its antiquity, as I can say.
Why did you choose to parang umpisahan or gawin lahat yung parang mga vestments or any other kinds of vestments na meron sa simbahan?
I can say na inumpisahan ko sila out of, kasi dati yung mga nauuso yung mga dress like a saint. Then I tried making one for myself noon. And I can say, and nakita ng isang pare, and nakita, ba't di mo kaya subukan gumawa ng damit ng pare? And that made me interested in to study more on how vestments were made, and that made me, in a way, confident that, kung nagustuhan ko ng pare, ba't di ko na kaya to gawing official na gagawa na ako ng vestments, mga pare. Though, right now, nahihirapan talaga akong gumawa ng mga cassocks and alb surplices, among others. I can proudly say that I can make those vestments that are yung mga merong liturgical colors, most of them are merong liturgical colors, and most of them are yung mga napapalitan. For example, meron din mga ginagawa na hindi rin sinusuot, like yung mga tabernacle veils. So in a way, it doesn't only make, I don't only make those vestments that are worn by priests, but also or make the church be more beautiful, like those frontals or antependiums, which are sometimes like the altar cloths that are placed on the front of the altar, from the term frontal, which is to cover the altar, and the tabernacle veil, because it's a tradition to cover the tabernacle, because how you cover the glory of God. Back then, I'm just trying, but now, well, many people know me as a vestment maker, that it can even reach US, Rome, Malaysia, and many parts of the Philippines. So yeah.
Thank you for joining us in this Sensei episode with Mr. Chad Nathan Belleza, a Latin Mass server and the founder of Casa de Ignazio Ecclesiastical Vestments. And for inquiries, don't forget to visit his Facebook page. See you again next week for the part 2 of his episode, and we will continue to explore, learn, and improve. Because life is a continuous learning process. This is Sensei, their skills and talents.